agenda in certain areas, especially issues that are in the exclusive legislative list. They will say the policy agenda. If you talk about the floating of the currency, of course, the federal government manages the currency. If you talk about the petrol subsidy, yes, the federal government, will set the agenda on that regard. But again, like every other issue, how do you adapt as a governor to that policy agenda? You have your own money, for Christ's sake. There's allocation monthly that is provided to you. So how do you then adapt to that policy to protect your own people from the shocks, from the attendant consequences of those policies? That's why you are the governor. That's why you campaigned. That's why you should, so to now absolve yourself of the responsibility that you should take as a result of, decisions that have been taken at the center, it's not responsible enough. And I see that a lot of governors try to divert the people's attention away from them and say everything is from the center. No, everything is not from the center. For instance, the salaries that you pay civil servants at your own state is not from the center. You get your own allocation. You do certain things with your own money. So I think that we should get to a point where governors also take responsibility. And perhaps maybe the kind of federal system that we run, I mentioned something earlier, that we haven't gotten this federalism right. And we need to take proactive steps to getting this federalism right and ensure that power is truly devolved, to the lower tiers of government, including the local government. And I think we are in there's some steps that have been taken in that direction. For instance, the Supreme Court decision to grant financial autonomy to local governments. And I think now, with the current fiscal framework that is operational at the local level, howbeit needs to be enhanced, because when you look at how local governments are currently structured, it's not the accountability there is still very, very fragile, and we need to look into that very well. And I think that's where state government can provide the needed technical assistance to the local government to ensure that the monies that are now flowing to them, they are able to use it to put it to judicious use. The other side of it is that local government chairmen, who incidentally don't have immunity, should be very careful because they should not compare themselves with the governors who have immunity under the Constitution. What happens in that case is that if you behave recklessly, the law enforcement, the anti-corruption agencies can come for you and you will pay dearly for it. But having said that, is that governors do have responsibilities. Allocations to state governments have on the average, increased by up to 50% in the last 1 year.
Have we seen it? Have we seen it in reality?
Well, we're seeing it. Some are doing roads.
Roads?
So those are the issues.
Roads?
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. That if allocations have increased and all you can think about is roads, then we need to question, your governance, prowess, to say, okay, what's happening here? There's even a particular state who is now constructing airport, and I'm like, what? Should this be your priority at this time?
Shouldn't the airport be a governor's priority?
No.
So that when it's going for a FET meeting in Abuja,
That's
it does
the
not
problem.
have to.
There's a particular state now who constructed airport. We can literally count how many flights have landed in that airport. So to what end is what you just want to do is to create some fiscal window to channel funds away from the state. That's what's happening. And that's why you see that some state governors who have now taken up all the roads in their state to reconstruct, while shying away from the core welfare of the people, states who don't, for instance, maybe the number of citizens that have health insurance in their state are less than 10%, are spending 70% of their resources in reconstructing roads. How does that make sense? States who can barely provide quality education at the basic level are spending 60-70% of their resources to construct roads. To what end is it? States who can barely feed itself in terms of food production are spending 60 to 70% of their resources to construct roads, to build airport. So those are the things that we need to look at and say, what are our priorities? If we invest in the people in terms of providing quality education, ensure they are not sick, making sure they feed well and all of that, and also now providing this other infrastructure, roads, transportation, and all of that. How does that, contribute to the overall development of the state, rather than focusing in one direction and, getting development skewed at the end of the day?
All right, it's still state affairs this morning. Talk to me, will you? 0706 949 3000, 0701 447 5770, and 0809 155 1055. The location for this conversation is Facebook. Will you like to join there? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Michael.
Good morning. What's the name?
This is Lucky Rabo calling from Ibadan.
Let's talk, Lucky.
Yeah, there is the saying that a fool at 40 is a fool forever. And also, anything that threatens your source of livelihood, your source of survival, is worth fighting against, even if you have to lose your life. You see, we Nigerians, when I say we Nigerians, I'm not counting our leaders. I'm saying the generality of the common man in Nigeria. We seem to be living as full at 40. Successive government since 1979, when we first did our presidential election, it was looting before the military came back. This one we started in 1999. They have been looting, telling the masses, take it easy. We are for you. We are going to do well. The masses keep on persevering. Somebody who can afford 3 square meal before, gradually it falls to 2 square meal. Gradually it falls to a single square meal. We cannot, and we are, cooling down, and people are dying of hunger. There is no business that our leaders have done in this country that is ever successful or profitable. Nigerian Airways, they finish it. Operation Feed the Nation, they finish it. Nigerian Railways, they finish it. Just name it. They have never done, our leaders, and what that is, same people, from generation to generation. That is same set of people and their caucus.
Okay, Lucky, what?
So now, just take it easy to hear what I want to say. I wanted to say one of them by Mr. Oluwaseun, but he didn't give me the privilege. He just cut the line off and jumped into conclusion what I was anticipating, saying. See, if the law enforcement agents in this country, military, the generality of the junior officers who are also bearing.
Okay, Lucky, you see, the narrative that you have just started, just like Segun Akinola, I will not let you put it on my own program. You see, the issue is that as we speak, there are about 2 million people listening to me. And, the program is influential to the extent that you can sway public opinion. I don't want you to put anything treasonable on radio. Okay, so I guess you have to understand that Segun Akinola was right. I will not be able to do that. Thank you very much for speaking to us. All right, 0706 949 3000, 0701 447 5770, and 0809 155 1055. Lucky, you have Facebook. You can put it on your own Facebook so that, if they're looking for somebody to call for questioning, they will know who to call for questioning. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Michael.
Good morning. What's the name?
This is Mr. God from Ibadan.
Mr.
Mr. God